going to try to explain how I arrived here in this room. Believe it or not, I'm the longest tenured instructor at the School of the New York Times. It's not that impressive, the school's not been around that long. I actually tried to study journalism at Columbia as an undergrad. And when I got there, I was admitted, and when I got there, I realized that it was not an undergrad option. So I then decided to study creative writing and American studies. American studies is as close as you can get to undecided while still having a major. It's not my joke. It's a joke of the great actor Roger Guenver-Smith, who studied American. You know Roger? Yeah. I know him personally. Special guy. Yes, I studied creative writing. Then, strangely, I went to play baseball. I was a professional baseball player for 10 years. I know, there's some funny faces. It really happened. 10 years ago, I played in the World Series. I continued to write the whole time. Continued to write. And once I retired, I had always wanted to be a teacher. Always. And I always wanted to write. I continued to write. And so once I came out, I actually saw myself moving into video as the industry has changed a little bit. Obviously, this place here is, there's a lot of changes that have gone on. We're not so much into writing. We're moving a little bit into video. So I do contribute as a video journalist, as a correspondent for Vice. I get to travel all over the world, doing all sorts of different stories. We are developing a course in the TV correspondent, TV personality, YouTube personality, more like Snapchat star for some of you guys. We're developing something like that, but I've promised that I will not talk about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about something that is exciting that Megan mentioned about this school, because I've been here for quite a while. We really are an intermediary between the traditional academic experience that a lot of you guys have, that a lot of you guys fall asleep through. We're sort of an intermediary between that and the industries that many of you guys want to work in. And how do we achieve this? We bring a lot of people in. We just import. I would love to take any one of your classes, but what's even better is that these folks, with their extensive contacts, they import people. And as a student, you're going to have FaceTime with people that, me as a professional, I can't get FaceTime with some of the people that I can bring in and that these people can bring in. These are people that are ignoring thousands of emails a day from people who just want to connect with them and pick their brain. We import them. We how do we do it? We blackmail them. We threaten them. We say, yeah, remember that time I let you stay on my couch? You have to come talk to my students. Some, things like that. We make deals. So we bring them to you. I'm going to talk quickly about two courses that I've taught in the past here. I've taught a course called Future Sports Trends. What Future Sports Trends tries to do is tries to convince the kids that come, they like sports. They think, I'm really good at fantasy football. I should get a job in sports. Not really true anymore. There was a point in time where really all you had to do was like sports, tuck in your shirt, show up, and you would possibly get a job in sports. Things have changed. It's now critical thinking. We're interested in people that have applied math degrees and data scientists and things like that. So we try to look ahead to see what the next big trend will be. It has been analytics. This is an $80 billion industry. And so we do talk a little bit about the cultural implications of, for instance, public funding for stadiums and things like that. But for the most part, I'm trying to prepare these students to potentially work in the industry every day, convincing them, as I would in any class, and as many of these teachers also do, that they are prepared to actually work in the industry today by experimenting on their local communities. The big thing is just this fandom modality, this idea of I'm just interested in scores and what LeBron said to this guy and to that. It's really, really not important. This is now a creative endeavor. I will move on to the next class that I have taught. It's called Culture in Creative Writing, a very, very different course. Again, importing. We've had novelists, we've had investigative journalists, might ask you to come to my class, music writers, culture writers, really of all stripes. And so what we try to do is try to talk about how we arrived at this particular moment in the industry. There are so many parts of it. We have microblogging. We have, because of the filter bubble, something that we talked about before, where now you're allowed to lie on the internet. Now we have a lot of sort of fake blogs where you can sort of say anything. We still have investigative reporting. Of course, the industry has changed quite a bit in who owns these things. So we talk a little bit about that. We learn how to discuss difficult issues in a civilized manner. And this is important to do. And I'm speaking specifically to the children right now because adults sometimes struggle to do that. So we will learn how to do that, and we will be pretty good by the time we leave. It's also important for us to study the underlying architecture of the writing and what makes good writing, but it's really important for us to discuss culture on a daily basis and actually collide with current events, which is something that you don't really get to do in school and in your traditional schools. You're not really up to the minute. You're not in real time. It's as if what's happening in the world today is sort of off limits, and we've got to go back at least 5 to 10, if not 25 years. I think that's my time. I have a lot of courses, so I can talk to you, later on. It's very nice to see you all.